This is stop number 1 on her radio tour, so she's super excited. And what a great place. It's icing in Nashville today, so we're also happy to get down to Florida. But anyway, this is Kimberly Kelly. Thanks for coming in, and hope you enjoy.
Need to roll your volume up.
Okay, I'm from Brooklyn, like he said. No, I'm not. I'm from Waco, Texas. You know, like Fixer Upper, Chip and Joanna.
David Crash, right?
Oh, yeah. Baylor. Hey, I went to Baylor for a semester. I like to joke as long as my scholarships lasted, because it's expensive. And I left my pick, I think, over there on that chair. But there's another one in there. It's a little bit closer. I can get it. Can I leave the screen? In the front of it, yeah. Yeah, I went to Baylor and pulled every prank that you could pull when I lived in the dorm because the girl I lived with, her dad was president of Baylor at the time. So we let a wet dog in the dorm room. We stole the shower curtains the night before rush. We,
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, it was a good time. But then I went to a college called Tarleton. I have a master's degree in case this stuff doesn't work out. But hopefully it works out, right?
Yeah, roll your volume.
All right. Y'all just want me to kick it off? Okay. This is called Summers Like That.
1, 2, 3.
I remember where I was the very first time when I heard strawberry wine. It was the middle of the summer, I turned 16. I could have sworn she was singing that song to me. I can't still hear. Maybe it was Memphis rolling through the speakers when I had my first kiss dancing barefoot in the yard neath the canopy of trees. To the keeper of the stars, I still get carried away by the magic, by the moment. Never felt that way before. They don't make summers like that no more. Well, it crushed my heart when he had to go. My first taste of a walk-away joke. You don't ever forget when it cuts that deep. First time you fall is so bittersweet. I can still hear dust on the bottle, sitting on the hood of an '02 model Mustang, sipping on booze, catching my first buzz to a neon moon. I still get carried away by the magic, by the moment. Never felt that way before. They don't make summers like that no more. Oh, a memory can hold on to you so strong. It seems like yesterday, but those days are gone. And time marches on. Time marches on. But I can't still hear. Maybe it was Memphis rolling through the speakers when I had my first kiss dancing barefoot in the yard neath the canopy of trees. To the keeper of the stars, I still get carried away by the magic, by the moment, never felt that way before. They don't make summers like that no more. No more. Thank y'all. I'm not used to sitting. We're married also, by the way, in case there's an interesting dynamic up here. He was the cheapest guitar player I could find, or the most expensive, however you want to look at it. Yeah, that song, I forgot to give y'all the spiel on that. It's a bit of a pop quiz. I like to say it has lots of songs from the 90s in it, and if you recognize them, you're supposed to give me a woo. And that goes over good in Nashville because there's lots of woo girls in Nashville. But and then the first time I asked people to do that at a show, you know, it's immediately strawberry wine, and they were like, woo! And in my mind, I was like, why are they yelling at me? I forgot that I told them to do that. We should play Something's Have a Name next.
Okay.
So this song probably got me my record deal. I'm signed to Toby Keith's label. I met him. I've met him twice. The first time he walked up to me and he just goes, hello, Kimberly, hello, country. And I thought, should have been a cowboy, but I didn't say that. But he's been incredible. Every now and then they'll call him and he'll give some quote about something I'm doing, and it blows my mind.
And he sent us some steaks one
Yeah, he
one
did
time.
send us some steaks.
So I was good with him for that. For
Yes, he did. This Christmas, my mom was like, doesn't Toby Keith have some meat somewhere? And I was like, do you want steaks from Toby Keith? Is that what you're trying to say? So I bought them. Toby didn't send them, but so, yeah. This is just a song about cheating. Yeah. You know, it's just, I'm such a song person. I grew up loving the 90s music, you know, like just where the harmonies and the steel guitar and the fiddle and all that good stuff. I love all kinds of country, but this kind of stuff right here is the kind of stuff I love the most. I can't decide if I'm going to cross my legs or not. Here we go. That sounded bad.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
I think I like them crossed. Call it what you want, some sort of cry for help or lapse inside your mind. Save it for a psychiatric PhD, boy, 'cause I ain't gonna buy. You know what you did is just one word for it. When you fall into her arms, darling, that's called cheating. And when I start walking out that door, baby, that's called leaving. When I close down the bar and let a friend drive my car, well, that's called drinking. If you're feeling what I'm feeling, that's called pain. Yeah, some things have a name. Well, let me know if I'm confusing you or moving just a little bit too fast. Goodbye to me don't mean I need a little space, and I might be coming back. No, when I'm gone, and you'll be all alone. 'Cause when you fall into her arms, darling, And when I start walking out that door, baby, that's called leaving. When I close down the bar and let a friend drive my car, well, that's called drinking. If you're feeling what I'm feeling, that's called pain. Yeah, some things have a name. Yeah, and I close down the bar and let a friend drive my car. Well, that's called drinking. If you're feeling what I'm feeling, that's called pain. Make no mistake, some things have a name. I'm gonna let you play on this next one. I ain't gonna play.
Which one?
Okay, this next one. Have y'all heard of a little old place called the Grand Ole Opry? I made my debut last year, August 26th. I
Yeah.
said, when I signed my record deal, y'all, I had 3 dreams. I know, it's silly. I said, I want my record to come out. It did. I said, I want to play the Opry, and I want to go on a radio tour. And here I am. So I can quit. I'm going to quit tomorrow. Yeah, I'm just happy to be here. I have been in Nashville about 9 years. My sister was there first. Her name's Kristen Kelly. She had a record deal. And we're from Texas, and I told somebody earlier, I said, you know how you can tell a Texan? You ain't got to worry about it. They'll tell you. But anyway, so we played back in Texas, and then she signed a deal and then asked me to come up and sing harmony with her on the road. So I did, and that's what ended up getting me to Nashville. And I was writing songs and everything, and everybody, you think you're supposed to sign a publishing deal and then sign a record deal, and that's how it works, but every story's different. I never signed a publishing deal, and I was about ready to quit, and I'm married to Brett, and he's a songwriter, and I thought, I'll just let you do this, and I'll keep being a speech therapist. But I put out an EP before this record, and that's what got me signed. So I've tried to quit a couple times.
And now we're both broke.
And here I am. Yeah, but he actually, I have to brag on him. He had his first #1 last year. It was Cold Beer Calling My Name. So thank you.
Thank you for playing it. Yeah.
And then right now, he wrote the song Wild as Her by Corey Kent. So please play my song, but if you don't, at least play that one because I want to remodel the bathroom. And he's also promised me a pony. And if you get, I'll name the pony after your station if you get me a pony.
There you go.
But anyway, so we played this song last year at the Opry with a guy named Steve Warner. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. We wrote this song with him, and he came out, and his red guitar matched my red jumpsuit, and it was just great. So this is called Blue Jean Country Queen, and it's just about going out and having a good time. It could be for men too. You know, you might every now and then feel like you're putting on your Blue Jean Country Queen crown, and you know, yeah. It's basically about a girl going to the bar and not having to pay for anything, because you know.
Yeah, well.
I ain't playing on this one. I'm gonna let you do it.
Yeah.
She rolls up to the Continental Club with a Farrah Fawcett smile. Parks on the sidewalk, fresh coat and lip gloss, struts to the front of the line. Blows a kiss for the cover, makes a cover band stutter, a real-life Barbie doll. Girls are all glaring, boys are all staring, the 1970s call. She's a blue jean country queen, a honky-tonk heart attack. Boots to her knees and fringe on her sleeves and horns on her Cadillac. Mama's prayer and daddy's nightmare, made for the neon lights. She's a blue jean country queen, looking for a king tonight. I ain't bought a beer since coming in here. The boys take care of that. 'Cause they all wanna be the guy that gets to see the place where she hangs her hat. After long necking and a little two-stepping, she leaves them with a case of heartburn. 'Cause she ain't met a cowboy yet that knows how to handle her. She's a blue jean country queen, a honky-tonk heart attack. Boots to her knees and fringe on her sleeves and horns on her Cadillac. Mama's prayer and daddy's nightmare, made for the neon lights. She's a blue jean country queen, looking for a king tonight. This is where I usually go, "Come on, Steve," and he rips like this really good guitar solo on the record. Brett's pretty good too. A blue jean country queen, a honky-tonk heart attack. Boots to her knees and fringe on her sleeves and horns on her Cadillac. Mama's prayer and daddy's nightmare, made for the neon lights. She's a blue jean country queen, looking for a king tonight. A blue jean country queen, looking for a king tonight. That song isn't about me necessarily. When we sat down to write it, we were all thinking about a bunch of different, like Steve Warner got his start playing with Dottie West, so he was thinking about Dottie West because she used to wear these boots that went up to her knees, and she had a fringe jacket. And I was just thinking about one time I went to float the river in New Braunfels, and my boss at the time was like, "Well, it sounds like you got everything, but you forgot the alcohol." And I was like, "Psh, some boy floating down the river is going to be like, 'Hey, girl, you want a beer?'" And I was like, "So I'll only need like one or two." So that's my part of that song.
I thought of, was her name Trailer Park Tammy?
Yes.
I thought she'd be good in a music video for that.
That's who, so like we were just, it was about like embodying just like when you get up and you go out and you just got your feel good on, you know. But anyways, so yeah, that's it. That's our 3 songs. You want more? Or I only know 3. I'm kidding. Got any questions or anything? Let me tell a joke. I don't know if any of them are clean.
I see someone in the back there.
Yes. I think it depends on where, me personally, where I'm playing and the mindset I'm in, maybe going in. We wrote a song about divorce, which we're fine, we're happily married, but like sometimes if you've written it, you're able to compartmentalize it. You kind of get that emotion out in the writing room when you're writing it, and then you sing it so many times it just kind of becomes a song that you sing. But yeah, not trying to be sad, but we lost our dad like a year ago, and the only time I've ever had a hard time is I went down and played at Green Hall, and my dad always used to go down to Green Hall, and so I could have been playing the most upbeat song on the planet, and I just was thinking, like, imagining him being out there. So, like, it depends on where your headspace is at and what you're singing and where you're at. So, but I think we're able to compartmentalize it sometimes.
You do better than I do. That.
Yeah, like we wrote a
I'm a
song
mess.
about my dad, and he couldn't even get through it. And now when I play it for people, I'm actually fine. I think because I cried a lot while we were writing it, and I just, are you about to cry now?
No, I'm listening to you.
I'm the worst.
No, I'm
like,
not that much of a
I'm
mess.
just like the worst person though, because I'll always be like, "Are you about to cry?" And he'll be like,
Yeah.
"Well, even if I was, you just ruined it." But anyways, because he never cries. But yeah, I think it just depends, but it helps the more you do it, you know. Yeah.
It's a good question.
It was a great question, yes. What was your name? Thank you, Christine. Nice to meet you. Anybody else?
Yeah, I got a question.
Okay,
Where did
Blake.
this album come from?
Oh, good question. Okay, this is my album right here. It's called "I'll Tell You What's Going to Happen." And I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. I knew Billy Joe Shaver really well. I don't know if any of you know who that is, but he was one of the outlaw singer-songwriters. He wrote a lot of songs for Waylon Jennings. And when he met Waylon Jennings, he'd gone down to Lukenbach, Texas, and was playing him songs. And Waylon said, "You got any more of those songs? Bring them up to Nashville when I'm cutting." And so Billy Joe said, "Yeah, I got a whole sack full of them." So he went up to Nashville, and he found Waylon in the studio, and then they tried to run him off with $100. And he said, "I'll tell you what's going to happen." I can't say a bad word on here, can I? Okay, it's ASS. Okay. I used to have a cuss word in one of my songs, and I would never say it. And then I got up the courage to sing it one time, and I forgot I was at a live radio remote. And my guitar player was like, "Oh my God, of all the times, I'm so proud of you, but wrong time." But anyway, so he said, "I'll tell you what's going to happen." He said, "If you don't listen to these songs, I'm going to whoop your ass." And so they were like, "Okay, we'll listen to one." So one turned into the whole Honky Tonk Heroes album of Waylon Jennings. And I knew Billy Joe Shaver really well. He was from Corsicana, Texas, but he'd been living in Robinson, which I'm from Lorena. It's right outside of Waco. And I got to know him pretty well. And whenever it came time for me to make a record, I had just gone through the Hall of Fame, and they had the Outlaws and Armadillo exhibit. And so I saw that quote in there, and it reminded me of that story. And I told the president of the label, David Macias, who owns 30 Tigers, that distributes Show Dog. Anyways, I said, "I know what I'm going to name my record. I'm going to call it I'll Tell You What's Going to Happen, because I'm proud of these songs, and you're going to listen to them or I'm going to whoop your ass." And he goes, "I dare you to name your record that." And I was like, "You don't know me real well." So here's my record. It's called I'll Tell You What's Going to Happen. And I'm not going to whoop anybody, but the rest of the quotes on the inside, but that's why we ended up covering a Billy Joe Shaver song, Black Rose, at the end of the record. And there's a voicemail he left me at the end of it, and there's also a picture of me wearing a hat, and that's one of his hats. Because he'd come to one of my gigs, and there was a pretty lady that was a friend of the family, and he signed his hat and gave it to her. Well, he's since passed, but when they found out I was making this record, they were like, "Connie still has that hat. You want to take a picture in it?" And I was like, "Hell yeah." So I did. But anyway, so yeah, Billy Joe Shaver was he was probably the first person who believed in me outside of my parents.
I was going to say, he was the one who encouraged you to really start playing, too.
Yeah, he was. And right. And I went out and played shows with him and stuff. So it was wild. Yeah. But anything else? Anything else you want me to tell him, Blake? Say that again? No. Yeah.
Where's your inspiration come from? You have a unique sound. So who do you look at in your upbringing in music?
I'm from Texas, so I can't escape the honky tonks. I feel like a lot of the stuff that gets played down there is dance and music, and that's how I was raised, That's also the only other thing wrong with Brett, other than him being from Minnesota, because I'm from Texas. I know, it's a joke. Is that he can't two-step. I married him. He's all right. But, yes.
I can one-step pretty good. Yeah.
So he learned. He's great. Yeah, just the honky-tonk sound, I think. Just something you could dance to. But, I mean, I love all kinds of country, too. I just personally love, like, the fiddle and the steel guitar, people like Reba McEntire, George Strait, Randy Travis. But like I said, I don't dislike any other kind of country either. He writes, you can still dance to some of the stuff that he writes that's top 40. Anything you can move to, I like it. But personally, two-step in music. I'll teach you. Oh, yeah. I've noticed that going out of Texas too. There's really not a whole lot of places anywhere. And honestly, unfortunately, a lot of the honky tonks are kind of going by the wayside in Texas too. So there's not a ton down there left either. So if you find a place, but you can always just I was gonna say dance in your kitchen. I do like Minnesota. I was just kidding.
She likes cheese curds too. It's good.
I did, and spotted cow beer, but that's Wisconsin.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank y'all for listening.